And this is done through the use of metaphor and story because the unconscious mind likes that. So sometimes I'll tell a story, a simple metaphor.
And that's why they are weird stories that
Yes.
you are stating in the audio.
Yes, I mean, some of them are like Zen tales,
Right.
and then some of them are just simple process
So that's a
instructions.
misdirection. You're telling that story to distract the logical mind while you implant the stress alleviating commands in the subconscious.
That's right. You're overwriting the operating
Wow.
software.
Wow. Because when you listen to this audio, and you have to listen with headphones, by the way, because there are different sounds in both ears.
You see, I was a radio broadcaster and producer in my previous life back in the
That
1980s.
explains the sexy voice.
Well, but also because I'm very much into the quality of sound.
Uh-huh.
I spent a lot of time making the sounds appear in different places, so it gave, as you say, this holographic or certainly expanded spatial sense when somebody is relaxing. So I say to people, even though might be talking to your left brain and right brain, just let the words wash over you in a gentle way. And I try and speak to people in a way that bathes them in sound. So what happens is very often people will say, oh, I sort of drifted off and I fell asleep during that trance. And that's because they needed to rest. But they wake up when I tell them to, and they're full of energy and vitality.
I noticed that sometimes when I listen to this audio, when I'm particularly tired, I do fall asleep. Is that going to override the effects?
Oh, not at all. You see, when you're asleep, there's a part of
Wow.
you that's still listening.
Uh-huh.
Any mother with a newborn baby will tell you they can be deep to sleep. The baby cries in the other room. Bam! You know what it's like when you're at say a social gathering and you're talking away, and someone says your name over the other side of the room. Suddenly, you tune in and hear
Right.
it. So there's a part of the unconscious always listening, always taking in information.
Amazing, Paul. So we can't wait to get started with the hypnotic trance. So here's what I want you guys to do. Make sure you're listening to this with headphones. I cannot stress this enough. It works with headphones because there's going to be a different input in your left ear and your right ear. Sit in a relaxed position. Paul, is it okay to be lying down or will you fall
Yes,
asleep?
absolutely. I mean, what I say to people is make sure you're not driving or operating machinery. You can safely relax completely. So some people listen to it sitting in a, say, comfortable armchair. Other people, when they're lying down. I mean, some people like to listen to it when they come in from work in the evening, or other people as they fall asleep at night. I have heard tales of people listening to it on a train and falling asleep and missing their stop, but that's a very rare thing.
So okay, falling asleep is okay, and don't feel stressed out about it. But ideally, you want to be not so comfortable that you drift off to sleep, right? An ideal situation is you are awake. So I like listening to this sitting in a meditative posture, which is basically just like that, with pillows propped up behind me, usually in bed. And that's good too, right? And of course, wear comfortable clothing, take your shoes off, and make sure that you're in a distraction-free environment. And again, if you're watching this or listening to this in a car, please make sure that you stop and pull over to the side of the street, or you hit pause and listen to it when you're home. Listening to it on an airplane, is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. As long as you're not flying the plane. You know.
So I listen to this in a plane, and I use AirPods Pro, which allow you to block out external sounds, so you don't hear the engine sounds of the plane. Okay, so let's get started. Get a comfortable position. Put your headset on or your AirPods. Plug in, and we'll begin.